Biggest defense companies in the stock market. This is a comprehensive guide to the top names in defense. The US government spends more than $700 billion annually on defense, as well as billions more on intelligence and space. A good portion of the total goes to salaries and benefits for soldiers and other non-procurement purposes, but the US military also spends a hefty chunk on the tanks, ships, and planes built by defense contractors. Defense stocks tend not to be high flyers like tech stocks, but they do offer predictable and stable returns. They tend to move based on what is going on in Washington, D.C., rather than on the cyclical movement of the economy. They can offer a mix of slow but steady growth and income to a portfolio thanks to the extended time frame of government contracting. They can offer revenue predictability well into the future. Defense Investing 101. It's important to understand a few basics about the defense industry. Broadly speaking, any company that receives the bulk of its revenue from government customers, whether it's Pentagon, civil agencies, or intelligence services, is considered a defense contractor. There are a few specialists, but following a period of intense consolidation during the 1990s, most of the large contractors have numerous different businesses. Most have at least two areas of emphasis, such as warplanes and missile or ships and tanks, so they are not overly reliant on any one contract. But none is a jack of all trades able to compete for whatever the Pentagon desires. The key to investing in this sector is to choose carefully between the contractors based on areas of Pentagon emphasis and relative values and gaps between the companies that can be explained away or should ease over time. Now we are talking about biggest defense companies. Here's a look at some of the biggest names in defense. Number 1. Boeing. Boeing is best known for its commercial jet empire, and defense makes up less than 1/3 of total sales. But that's still enough to place the company among the largest defense contractors. As one might expect, much of Boeing's defense portfolio is aviation-based. Boeing has an extensive portfolio of planes and helicopters in service, including the F-18 Super Hornet, the F-15 fighter, the Apache helicopter, and a number of surveillance and support aircraft. Boeing also manufactures several missiles and has a large space business. In addition, it has emerged as a leader in drones and other autonomous systems. Number 2. Raytheon Technologies. Raytheon doesn't have a massive signature program like a bomber or warship, but it makes the electronics and high-tech sensors that go into many of the systems. Its missile systems, including the Patriot defense batteries, are among the best in the world, and it provides sensors and other equipment to the intelligence community. Thanks to its 2020 merger with United Technologies, Raytheon has a broad portfolio of aerospace business, including Pratt & Whitney engine and Collins Aerospace. The mix of defense and commercial revenue means Raytheon is not overly reliant on either the Pentagon or commercial airlines, although it also means that when airlines have been hobbled during the COVID-19 pandemic, Raytheon stock fell more than a pure-play defense primes. Raytheon also has more international exposure than its peers, thanks to both its commercial business and the global appetite for missiles. Number 3. Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is the largest contractor in terms of defense revenue and the prime contractor for some of the Pentagon's biggest projects. Its flagship program is the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, which is expected to generate more than $1 trillion in sales over the course of its life cycle to both the US and its allies. However, Lockheed Martin is much more than just a one-hit wonder. It is a major producer of missile and missile defense systems, and it has a dominant helicopter franchise and a rapidly growing space business. Lockheed Martin is the manager of the famous Skunk Works research facility in California that has produced some of the most iconic military aircraft designs. These days, much of their R&D muscle is going toward hypersonics, meaning the missile and aircraft traveling at more than 5 times the speed of sound, which the Pentagon considers a priority. Number 4. Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman is a contractor focused on the skies above. The company's signature program are its bombers, including the original stealth bomber and the forthcoming B-21. It also makes important subsystems for the F-35 and other aircraft. The B-21 is an $80 billion program over its lifespan, and Northrop Grumman is also the lead contractor on the planned 9-figure overhaul of the nation's aging intercontinental ballistic missile arsenal. Northrop Grumman was almost sold to Lockheed Martin in the late 1990s, but the deal was eventually blocked by regulators as anti-competitive. The company seems adrift for a while after that, unsure of how to navigate on its own. In recent years, though, Northrop Grumman has found a clear mission and is evolving into an air and space defense powerhouse. Number 5. General Dynamics. General Dynamics has an impressive portfolio of defense products. It serves as the U.S. government's primary supplier of tanks and heavy land vehicles and also owns a number of shipyards where destroyers and nuclear-powered submarines are manufactured. But the company has been underperforming in recent years for reasons that have nothing to do with defense. General Dynamics also owns Gulfstream, one of the world's largest manufacturers of business jets. The parts of its business never recovered from the 2008-2009 recession, eating into results and making General Dynamics an underperformer relative to its more defense-focused peers. In addition, the company is one of the primary IT vendors to the government, managing networks and doing top-secret work for the Pentagon, spy agencies, and civil bureaucracies. Big defense companies are getting bigger. Biggest doesn't always mean best, and simply buying the biggest names in the defense industry is no way to invest. But in an industry that requires massive specialized manufacturing skills, access to security clearance, and strong relationship with government buyers, size just matters. The world isn't getting any safer, and the government's appetite for the products these companies sell is unlikely to dry up anytime soon. The order of rankings might change over time, but there is good reason to expect that today's list of the largest defense companies will look quite similar to one made in a few years' time.